Welcome to the Cockney Reds podcast. 29th of March, Monday, is an international week. So we're here today. We've got Ronnie in my top right. We've got the legendary Paul coming for his first appearance. Welcome. We've got Dave in the bottom left, just Dave, mate, in the bottom left. And we've got Culpz in the bottom right. Welcome all. How you doing? So we thought we'll do something a bit different today. Obviously, we haven't got a game to review, haven't got a game to preview just yet. So essentially what we're going to do is just have a little review of the season so far, give us a player rating of each of the players, and basically just say exactly how we thought they've done and where we think that we can improve, perhaps if we need to get a new signing in or whatnot. So going to kick straight in, go with Culpz, bottom right. De Gea, what are you saying?
Saying De Gea, no more than a 7, man. No more than a 7. Because obviously, like, he's made a few mistakes this season where, like, to be an elite keeper, yeah, and play at United, like, in the Premier League as well, yeah, for how many years now, like, them mistakes should be gone. Like, but we're still seeing them. Like, we're trying to go for a title race and we're dropping points against Sheffield United because he's getting bullied by fucking whoever scored the goal, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's not on, man. It's not good enough.
No, I hear that. I mean, what are you saying, Ronnie? Do you agree with that, or a 7, or what do you think?
Yeah, I'd say 6 or 7. Just, I don't think he's been making like as many good saves as we know De Gea. He's been making mistakes like kicking and commanding the box, but I don't think that's ever really been his strong point. Like you never go, oh yeah, De Gea was really commanding in that game.
No, true.
But it's always his saves that catch your eye. That's why he's got the title of like the best keeper.
Yeah, it was unbelievable in them years. I mean, Paul, I mean, 2 7s. What are you saying? Or 6 and 7? Did you agree with that? Do you think he's had a fairly solid season, I suppose?
I'm at a 5. I'm at a 5 because he sets high standards. De Gea. He always has done since he joined us. Apart from his first sort of shaky season, he's been pretty much the best goalkeeper in the Premier League ever since that first season. But I just feel like, going back to what Ronnie said, commanding his box, for me, since Henderson's come into the team, the defence has never looked so good. They look much more calm, much more assured. The communication seems better. I think even the basic goalkeeping errors he's still doing. If you go back to the Everton game, some of that ball across for the first goal or second goal, I can't remember which one it was.
Oh, yeah.
And he parries that straight to the other striker. Henderson's not doing that. In fact, I don't.
What about the Sheffield United game?
And the Sheffield United game.
No, I mean like doing the Henderson kick the ball to that guy.
No, it's the first goal for the Sheffield United game that everyone saw as a foul, and I thought it was a foul, and Solskjaer thought it was a foul, and I think.
No, I'm not talking about the game we lost. I'm talking about the game we won when we won 3-2 against them. Like, you know, when the Henderson started.
Yeah, I get it. Henderson's not without his critics. I get it. But if you look at how many clean sheets he's had since he started, what is it, 7 clean sheets in 9 games, something like that? It's a ridiculously good clean sheet record. But for me, it's De Gea's still doing the basic errors like parries to other strikers. For me, that's basic goalkeeping. And the Sheffield United goal where we lost to him, I don't know how we lost, but we lost. And yes, it was a foul. But for me, Henderson's getting up and clearing that. He's just stronger. He's a much more commanding goalkeeper. For me, he's way out in front. For me, it's not close. De Gea's been poor this season. It's a 5.
All right, so we've gone from 7 down to a 6 and a 5. Dave, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm more swinging towards Paul's
assessment. The Magnum kicked in already.
I'm more swinging towards Paul's assessment of De Gea because I just think his time is up, man. I think his time up as number 1, maybe not at the club, but definitely as number 1 is questionable. I think Ronnie said he's never been like commanding the box and stuff like that. There's always been kind of his weak point, but I think now that his level has dropped in these other areas that he was strong in, it kind of just leaves us. It's very worrying. It's very worrying the stuff that De Gea does in goal for us. I mean, it's not all the time. Sometimes he pulls out unbelievable saves, but we ain't just looking for worldy saves. We're looking for other things as well. And I think for us to grow as a team, we need someone that's commanding in the box. We need someone who is a leader at the back as well. And I think this is where Henderson is. This is his time to shine, man. I don't think he's 100% there yet. I think he's got a lot of things to work on as well himself. But that might just be early nerves. Being number one United.
We're coming to him. We'll come to him.
Third season with this pressure, isn't it?
I think it's going to be so much stronger for us at the back.
Yeah, do you know what? I mean, I do hear that. And I mean, De Gea is like one of my favorite players. I mean, he was my favorite goalkeeper until, until he wasn't no longer the best ever, I suppose. But like, you know what? He was so good. Like, he was unbelievable. Like, he was superhuman. That's how it felt like when you had De Gea in goal. It was like, no matter what, even if he does make a bad catch or whatever, you know that he's just going to be a cat and just make some ridiculous saves throughout the season. So for me, even at the start, I thought when he came in, his kicking was even a lot better than it seemed to have got to. I mean, it seems like it's improved this season. But like, actually, I don't know. Like, I used to think when he came in, he was just an all-round sick keeper. There were some things they weren't great on, but the other thing just made him just unbelievably good. But now, for if I'm comparing De Gea to De Gea when he was in his heyday, there's no way that's a 7 out of 10 performance for me. I'm siding more towards a 5, but I don't want to be so harsh because he hasn't had I don't think he's had an awful season. I don't think it's been a really poor season. So
yeah, but Fudge, this is nothing new though. He's been under par for 2 seasons minimum, maybe 3
yeah, that's
seasons.
True. That's true. It's been too long since the World Cup, really. Since the World Cup, that long.
And he was terrible in the World Cup for Spain as well. Terrible.
Yeah, and I don't know what's happened, but I don't know.
Can I add? This is no disrespect to De Gea. De Gea, if you're watching this, honestly, if you're watching your sick keeper, you've done well for the club, and there's no disrespect to you, innit?
Magic.
Every legend has their time when it's time for them to take a step back. You know what I'm saying? Like Buffon, all these keepers. You know what I'm saying? They're great keepers.
I don't think it's there yet for De Gea, man.
No,
I think he's.
My man was sending a heartfelt message out to De Gea. You're gonna cut him off like that?
That's the man talking, man.
No, listen, Adam. I'm not saying that he should be banned from he should come out of the club. I'm
What
not
do you
saying he's number one position, and it's only because of Henderson as well. If Henderson wasn't there, and I'll say, okay, we have to stick with De Gea. I feel like this is the right time for us to transition to another people.
Oh yeah, I agree with that, but I think De Gea just kind of fell off the perch of being an elite keeper. Like he just the mistakes just took it away from him because obviously there was like a 3-year purple patch, you could say, bro, where like everyone knows, innit? He was amazing, bro. But now it's like, bro, man, like you're not expecting to see that from someone that's been at a top level club, even though we've been in our transition. But like we're Man United, bro. Like all that shit should be gone, man. Like
it's got to the point where whenever there's a corner or free kick at De Gea's goal, I'm actually worried.
Especially when they've got players in that 6-yard box. You just
that's what I'm saying. It's worrying. Whereas with Henderson in goal, I know he's gonna come out and hit that punch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on then. Like, I mean, we're talking about Henderson as well. So, like, next up then. I mean, Dave, you were mentioning Henderson. I mean, how do you think? What rating would you give him for it? Actually, sorry. Let's finish off there. What rating are we gonna agree on? I mean, I feel like overall we've kind of shifted down to a 6. Can we agree on a 6?
Yeah, I'll go with a 6 still.
All right, cool. 6. All right, Henderson, Dave, go.
Henderson, we're doing Henderson, yeah?
Yeah.
We're gonna go to okay, cool. Henderson. I mean, Henderson hasn't played that many games as number 1, but I'll give Henderson. You know, it's gonna sound weird, but I'll give Henderson a 6 as well.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah.
Go on then, explain yourself.
I mean, I think you can see the nerves. That's the only thing I'll say of Henderson. You can see the nerves. You can see the transition from being number 1 keeper.
Wait, it's tight already.
This Magnum is kicking in. You can see the transition. It's all right being number 1 keeper at a smaller club, no disrespect. But when you come to United and you're number 1 keeper, it's different. There's different expectations. And I feel like he's done very well. Let's not get me wrong, he's done very well. But at the same time, he needs to be more. This is his club. He needs to act like he's a United player. That's my only criticism of him.
Okay, cool. All right. I mean, Ronnie, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd say a 6 because his kicking's been a bit dodgy as well. Like,
has it been the same as De Gea's?
I mean, he's not played as many games as De Gea, but I've seen him make like, it's not loads, but it's like 2 or 3 where he just kicked it straight to the first man, like when he's trying to do a long clear, and he kicked it to the first. Maybe it hits the defender, maybe it hits their first striker, but it's the same thing. And I'm not seeing like anything amazing. Yeah? I'm not seeing anything amazing from him. He just like, he just does like how you'd expect a standard keeper to do in goal. Like you're not seeing obvious areas like De Gea. Bear in mind, we gave De Gea a 6 compared to how great he was.
Yeah,
that's why. All right, now let me go to Paul first.
No, we're not comparing him to De Gea now. We're comparing.
No.
In general.
It's true. It's true. I get where you're coming from. I do get where you're coming from. But I mean, Paul, what we've 6. I mean,
I'm going 8.
Yes.
But there's a reason I'm going 8. So hear me out. The reason
I'm
going 8 because he's had 6 Premier League appearances.
Yeah.
Half of them clean sheets. Yes. And out of those 6 games he's played in goal, we've won 5 of them.
Hold on. Man like Ty. Yes. Welcome. We can't hear you though. You're muted.
I'm muted.
Jeez, Ty.
No, I said a few technical issues still. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
Oh, I thought I didn't expect you to come actually.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
All right, Paul. Wait. So we're going through player ratings anyway. We're just on Paul at the moment. Okay, so Paul, continue. We're just going.
Yeah. So 6 games, 3 clean sheets, 5 wins out of those 6 games. And I think people have got to remember it's about circumstance. And the circumstances is he's replacing a goalie who's world renowned and he's stepping into one of the biggest teams in the world. That's massive pressure. And to come and do what he's doing under that amount of pressure when he loves the club and he's been playing for a smaller club as well. So he's trying to find his footing. I think he's done a monumentous job when you look at what he's had to do to get there.
You know what? Like,
really, really well.
I'm definitely swaying more to you, Dave. You've got 2 things. What's going on here? What are you doing here? Like, anyway, yeah. So actually, I swear I'm agreeing a lot more with Paul actually, just in terms of I feel like it is really harsh on Hendo to say that he's been a 6 because I get maybe if you're saying compared to a De Gea performance, yeah, but I'm judging him based on the fact that he's coming in first season that he's coming into a Man United club, yeah. It's only his 2nd season as in the club, and he's stepping up. He, like Paul was saying, he's stepping up, coming up to replace a legend, yeah, a legend of the game. And for me, he looked like a Manchester United player. I mean, it feels like he doesn't film with anyone that's nervous. He feels like he got that confidence of being somebody who knows that they're born to be a United player, innit? Like, and I feel like he's been so far. I feel so much more comfortable when he's in the back of the net. I know he hasn't been amazing. I'm not trying to say that he's been an amazing season, but I think he's been good. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if Dave's finding this funny, but like, I mean, Hendo, what's your thoughts then? You had 1 too many of these magnums or what? Got lost in all sorts. But yeah, no, I agree. I would say 7. I would have said I was gonna say an 8 just to boost it up a bit anyway, but you've already done that for me, so I'm happy to say a 7. But go on in. Ty. So we're saying just going through rating players. Saying now onto Dean Henderson. What would you rate him for the season and why?
I'm going to be controversial and say unrated because I don't think I've seen enough of him. I think he's done all right. I think he's done decent, but I don't want to put a number in it too early, if you know what I mean. I think he's made 1 error, which was probably the Milan goal, which he probably should have saved. But apart from that, overall, I think he's been decent. And like you said, in goal, I feel confident when he's there, but I think it's too early.
Yeah, no, I hear that. No, that's a sensible comment. So, I mean, overall then, I mean, if we are going to score him, because, I mean, you're the only one that said don't score him. I know, I like to comment, but like, we're going to do it. So we had 6s, we had 8s. Can we get him a 7 or are we going to?
I think 7 too high.
I think 6.5 is fair.
There's no point. I don't do points. There's no points. It's
7 is too high.
All right, so I'm voting a 7. Paul's voting a 7.
I'll vote an 8.
8? Oh yeah, crap. Yeah, what are you saying, Tim?
I'll set on a 7. I'll set on a 7.
7, boom. That's enough, man. 7, I've got it. All right, next. We're up. Left back. Man like Shaw. All right, let's go straight in with Culpz. What are you saying?
I'm saying
again, yeah?
I'm saying 9, bro.
9, yeah?
Yeah, man. because I don't see many fullbacks in his position doing much better than him, to be honest with you. I know like he ain't been it the whole season, but what he's been doing in the last few games, it's been impressive, man. That he's showing that he's keeping that consistency. He looks at the level he was at before he got the leg break against PSV.
Looks better.
Yeah, it does. It's even better, to be honest, bro. And yeah, man. So that's for that reason I'm giving him a 9 still, because it's like the Tellers signing really woke him up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's come like Tellers has come in and we've just seen a whole show's like fuck that, bro. Like I want to play for this club. Like so I'm feeling it, man. I like the character still.
No, I completely get that. I mean, Paul, what are you thinking about Shaw? You agree with that?
I'd say 9's fair. I was just thinking back to a couple of errors he made where he tends to come in centre back position quite often and leave that left back position a bit open.
Champions League Leipzig.
But that'd be hypercritical when you look at the amount of good stuff he does. Even just going back to the England game yesterday, the cross he did for Kane's goal, his game has improved so much, and I think that's testament to, as much as people won't like it, Solskjaer, because if you look at how much Mourinho just smashed him down into the ground in terms of after the game, one of the comments I think Mourinho made was that he's a player playing, but he's using my brain. Like, to come out and say that, it's just embarrassing. But when you look at him play now, he's like a completely different player to when he was playing under Mourinho.
Focus, man.
10 times better. You know what I mean? And he knows it, and he's walking out with confidence now. He's 9 out of 10, definitely, minimum.
Minimum, you know. All right, Dave, agree? I mean, I don't think he's been phenomenal for me, but I mean, what are your thoughts on Shaw?
To be honest, I'm going to be outlandish here and say he's a 10. I mean, there's nothing more. No, seriously, I know it's going to sound stupid, but there's nothing more.
Not even sound stupid. That's what's mad.
There's nothing more I can ask of him. Everything he's been doing of recent, like consistently for the last couple of games, maybe 7 games, 8 games, it's been unbelievable. It's just a breath of fresh air just to see how he plays. I mean, it's everything you would want of a left back. I see people saying that Robertson's the best left back in the league and all of this nonsense. But if you look at Luke Shaw and what he does, what he creates, if we had a centre forward, and we'll talk about it, that's a discussion for another day. The amount of assists he has, let's not forget that Luke Shaw takes corners for us now as well. Yeah, the guy is on fire.
Takes some free kicks as well, man.
He's on fire. He's on fire, man. He's a 10. There's nothing more I need to say. He's a 10. He's a 10.
I mean, is anyone suggesting he's not a 9 or at least a 10?
Yeah, I'll go with it. 8, 9, even
10 is just too gas levels. Like I can't even get that gas. Like I mean, I feel so happy for Shaw though, because I was at a point. I imagine I even lost faith in someone like, and Shaw was someone that was making me think, especially after the load break. It seemed Mourinho definitely did drag him down in that, but like, yeah, I feel so happy to see how good he is performing, and pleased to give him round up with a 9. We're not giving 10 to.
I think a 9's super generous though. I think it's a bit over generous, but I think it's because everybody wants him to do well, and 2 because he's been playing from such a low level as well. So I think, do you know what I mean? I think from previous seasons he's been quite below par. So everybody's been on him. Now he's doing really well. Everybody's like, all right, 9. I get it. So I'm not really going to argue at this point. It's not
I understand what you're saying to her, but I think where United have not been playing really well of recent, that's probably why you're saying that. But if United are playing at a very high level and Luke Shaw was playing the way he was, there would be no complaints. Like there's nothing he's actually doing that's wrong.
He's one of our most attacking players, isn't he?
Yeah, you can see
he's the most attacking player. He's getting to the right areas. And what I want to add is when Tellers is on the pitch, you can see the difference in how we play. You can see the difference straight away in how we play. Like Luke Shaw is relentless. Like he's a nightmare for fullback. He's an absolute nightmare.
Southgate said about his aggression, isn't it? Like, and it's true, bro. Like you could see it in attacking and defending. Like he's on it, bro, and he's not holding back at the moment. He's playing like he thinks he's untouchable, bro.
100%.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I mean, do we want to discuss Tellers, or should we go for Tyre's point and say it's just too soon? I mean, Ronnie, what are you thinking?
Yeah, too soon.
Yeah, I mean, I
want to rate Tellers though. You know, I want to rate him like a 6 or 7. Not even 7. Sorry, that's too much. 5
I
or
was gonna
6.
say.
Again,
There's something
surprised.
about
I've seen
him.
the WhatsApp
There's
group.
something about him that I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced about him.
Looked a bit meaty, innit? He looked a bit meaty.
you know, you can say
Yeah.
you've just not seen enough of him because he does play sometimes, but like playing like 1 every 7 games or like starting 1 every 7 games, it's not really gonna like.
Do you know what bothers me about Tellez? You can tell he thinks he's better than he is. He shoots from no, seriously. He shoots from these kind of angles. He thinks he can just get the ball and whip it in any angle.
Wow.
I think he is really good.
Listen, you
Getting
work a lot harder. Than
Yeah, I think you're being harsh, man.
100%.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
I am
For me,
being harsh.
I am being. Nah,
the game against, I think it was West Ham, and it was getting twisted upside down, like by
He's adapting still, bro.
the guy that plays right wing for them. I can't remember, but yeah, that was the game that I'm thinking like I don't know if he's going to make it. But since then, I think he's actually been quite good in defence. I mean, I would give him a solid 6. I mean, Paul, what are you thinking about Tellez?
I feel a bit sorry for him.
Yeah,
I think if he had a good run of games, he'd be a much better player than what he is. But he's just come up against the Shaw, who's you can't take out the team at the minute because he's playing that well. Do you know what I mean? So I think he's a lot better than what he's showing so far.
completely agree with that. But we've only gone 4 players in now. Yeah, we've only gone the 2 positions. So like, let's move on a bit quicker now. Yeah. So next we're going to go to right back, and we're going to kick off with Paul Wan-Bissaka. What rating are you giving him for the season?
I'd give him a 7.
7.
And it would be a 6 if it wasn't for the amount of tackles. Most amount of tackles out of any Premier League player this season. That's got to be something, right? If he can improve his attacking player, would be one of the best right backs in the world. Not even in the league, the world, because he can pocket players so well. He doesn't get done. I'm yet to see a player who's actually really done it. Doesn't happen. Defensively, probably one of the best. If he can sort that attacking bit out, then he would be the best.
That sounds fair. Anyone disagree with the rating of 7?
I disagree.
Yeah, I think it's about right. I think it's about an 8 or 9 for defending, and then, like you said, a 6, 5 for attacking, so it balances it out.
Okay, I'm going to be not controversial here, but I'm actually going to give him. Okay, I'm going to give him a 7 still. But like, I actually think going forwards, he's so underrated. I think when he's on the ball, he actually keeps the ball so often that people just he's not as attacking as Shaw, 100%. Yeah, I mean he needs to up that game. There was a point in the season, like about a month ago, where he was doing really well in terms of chance creation. I think that's kind of slowed down a bit. And it might be just the fact that Ollie wanted a bit more balance with 3 at the back, and with Shaw pushing up more and Wan-Bissaka being the more defensive one, which makes sense to be fair when you've got someone who's solidly defensively good as Wan-Bissaka. But so often he's the man on the channel that is offering us that width, that space. And it's not often that he actually loses the ball. If you watch him play, I don't think he loses the ball that often. I think he just gives and goes. Sometimes he should. I feel like the reason why I'm not giving him more than a 7 is because I feel like there are times where he should take more ownership. And I thought Shaw used to be like that, where they would give the ball and they would just like allow someone else to kind of deal with the attacking part, where Shaw now believes in his own ability, where he won't always pass it back to Bruno. He knows that he's good enough to be able to put a good ball in. I feel like Wan-Bissaka needs a bit more of that, but I think 7, we're kind of happy to all agree on them, yeah?
No, I'm not happy to agree on that. Don't.
What did you go on then? When did you go on? All right.
I agree with Ty in terms of with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, yeah, you need to give him almost 2 ratings: attacking rating and defensive rating. Defensive rating, I'll give him an 8. Yeah, I'll give him an 8. It's a great rating. Attacking wise, I'll give him a 2.
What is the point of this?
Listen, it's not harsh. It's not harsh.
It's not harsh. I'm just giving it a 2 out of 10.
Listen, when you compare him to other fullbacks here,
yeah,
in the attacking aspect, he's probably the worst. He's very bad. And
when you say that, what do you mean?
He doesn't give away the ball. He doesn't give away the ball. But
does he beat a man?
With the ball.
Does he beat a man?
He gets the ball. He doesn't beat a man.
Of course, he beats him.
He doesn't beat him.
Honestly, if you look. He
often.
He often beats a man, yeah. He often creates that pass where
someone playing the ball into space for him to run onto is not him beating a man. He does not get the ball and beat a man.
I know what beating a man is. I'm not talking about right. Man would step on the ball, would do a little jig. I'm gonna have to find a little. I'm gonna have to.
He does beat man sometimes, man.
Of course he does.
Sometimes. He might beat a man once or twice.
Probably more often than a lot of these other fullbacks. As much as all these other fullbacks, I reckon if I've got the stats up right now, his dribbling assist statistics are just as good as
Aaron is very good defensively. He's very good defensively, yeah.
Defender.
But the way he plays is like he's still playing for Crystal Palace. He needs to evolve.
Easy.
It's
Yeah, I
true.
know
He needs to
like,
evolve.
the flicks he does to no one. Like when he runs out
Yeah,
options, he'll just do a back heel. He won't even.
Yeah, but how many of our players do that though?
He needs to evolve.
Not as much as him though, man.
You think? Okay,
So,
so you boys, are you genuinely trying to tell me that
Wan-Bissaka
Wan-Bissaka give the ball a lot? Give the ball.
Are you guys honestly going to tell me that Aaron Wan-Bissaka does not need to evolve as a player?
Yeah, of course he does.
No, but two is
Yeah,
well over.
that's
Two
it
is well
then.
over.
Okay,
the
two
top.
is ridiculous.
But
Give him
Dave,
a 6.
yeah, but Dave, everyone that's not a 10, everyone that's not a 10 rating can evolve as a player.
No, but Aaron
put
needs
down
to
the
evolve
magnum. It's not a
drastically
2.
going forward.
But-
Drastically.
Yeah. To give Bissaka a 6, yeah. When you think about it,
That's rude,
that's
man.
because Bissaka's main job is to defend.
Boom.
I feel like
No, it's not, man. It's not.
It's
It's not.
Not-
You'd
not
be
at
surprised it's
Manchester
not.
United, no.
You'd be surprised it's not.
Of course it
Because
is.
he's not. Because if you see how many times he's up in the opposition's half, his job is clearly to defend and attack.
Bro,
What
his
do you
main
do when we
job-
attack?
Football has
job is to
evolved.
make
Football
sure
has
that
evolved.
his main
Football has evolved. He's not playing for Crystal Palace. He's not playing for Brighton, where you just defend 90 minutes.
Of course.
He
but
is in the opposition's
his
half.
main job.
Maybe 6, maybe more than he's in his own half.
Do you
maybe
forget
more than
Ashley
he's
Young
in
and
half.
Valencia that we had at right back for these last years?
Aaron is in the opposition half, maybe more than he's in his own half.
Correct.
That means that he needs to improve going forward. That's a fact.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course it is. It's not as bad
I
as
think
yours. It's not
everyone
as bad
knows
as
that's
10.
the case.
That is a fact. Yeah, it is.
It's a fact, but it
I
doesn't mean
give him
it's
a
2 out of
6,
10.
man. You guys can
Yeah,
make the
but
rate.
you
I
don't
give him
you
a
don't
6.
bang out a 2 out of 10 on him for that. That's
Yeah, that's
Well,
ridiculous.
going forward, he's a 2.
Ridiculous.
not
Going
two.
forward, he's a 2.
A 2 for me, a 2 would mean that
When I
he
see
always
Luke
gets the
Shaw
ball
on
away.
the ball,
All right, let me go.
when I
Let
see
me-
Luke Shaw on the ball, I think there's a chance we can score here. When I see Aaron on the ball, I think, all right, cool, he's passing it backwards to Matic. Like, that's what I think.
But do you?
Well,
What you
Fred,
actually?
that's
Okay,
what I
so,
think.
but even then,
Bro,
even
it's a
then,
defender, bro.
the fact that you're saying he passed it backwards is just wrong. Like you're not concentrating on the game. Yeah, my man always, normally, often than not, he'll pass it to Bruno or he'll pass it to James on the wing. He normally passes
Okay,
it
by
forward,
the
not
way-
always turning back
by the
and passing
way-
it off.
Dave, if
That's-
Wan-Bissaka could do what Neymar can do going forward, he wouldn't be a right. We wouldn't be a right
No,
back.
but if you could do what Shaw
Facts.
could do, if you could do what Shaw could do, then what would it be?
you
Bro,
guys-
But
If you could
it's
do what Shaw could do, what would it be?
can Shaw
Not quite
defend
as
as
good
well
as
as
fullback.
Wan-Bissaka? Can Shaw defend as
If-
well as
if he-
Wan-Bissaka?
Or-
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but Shaw has been defending as well as him, though. Shaw
No,
has
he
been
hasn't.
defending as
No,
well.
he
Yeah.
hasn't, bro.
Yes, he has.
He's
Yes, he
defending
has.
well.
Yes, he
He's
Shaw is good.
defending
Aaron-
well, but
Aaron-
not as good.
Listen,
He's
not-
defending
I'm
well,
not-
not as
listen.
good.
maybe not as good, but I think Aaron is a defender. As a defender, I'll give him an 8. Shaw, I'll give him a 7.
Bissaka
6.5.
was- He's one of the
6.5. It's not like miles away. It's not
Bro,
miles
that's a-
away.
Bro, there's no wingers that beat him, bro. His main job is to stop wingers crossing the ball or cutting in and running into
You know
the area.
what's,
That's his
cool. You know what's
job.
mad, yeah?
That's what he
Alright,
does.
cool. You know what's
I think
You know
at
what's mad?
United, you need to be more than that, though. I think at United,
Yeah, I agree.
you have
Dude,
thank you.
Dude,
you
yeah,
have
I
to be
agree.
more.
Thank
I'm not
you.
disagreeing with that, but I'm just saying what I'm disagreeing with is rubbing him out and saying, "Oh, he's
All right,
too
cool.
bad."
Yeah.
No, but I give him a 6. That's not rubbing him out.
Dave's been
No,
controversial.
that's
2 out of 10
attacking.
is
That's
ridiculous.
attacking. But you know what's funny? You think it's ridiculous here. You gave Shaw a 9 and a 10, between 9 and 10 rating, and you've given Aaron Wan-Bissaka a 7. So why is it such a difference? 7 and a 9 is a big difference. Why have you given him a 7?
You answered
Because
that
Because Shaw's
already.
been better for going forwards.
You
But
answered
you, but,
that
but you said Shaw's not a better defender. You said Shaw's not a better defender. So is he that much of a better attacker that he gets a 9 and a 10?
Yes, Dave. Listen,
Exactly.
the difference.
Exactly.
Listen. The difference between Shaw and Wan-Bissaka's defending is not a lot, but the difference between their attacking is a lot.
It's a
why
lot.
Man's a 9.
Exactly. That's my point.
But no one's
Shaw
disputing that.
Shaw is a 7 attacking, and Aaron is a 2. Simple.
Oh, I don't know if it's a 2, bro. Like maybe like
Man.
a 4 or 5, not a 2.
It's below average, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
It's not good
below
enough.
average.
He's got
Yeah,
a couple of goals, a couple of assists. I think he's good.
Yeah,
He's good.
standard centre back, isn't it? Centre back, Maguire. Let's go.
All right. So I think we agreed on a 7 on that one anyway. I know Dave didn't, but as an overall, we're going to agree on a 7.
Yeah,
Let's get to
majority is
Paul.
7. I agree.
Okay, let's get to Paul. We're going centre backs and Maguire. What are you saying, Paul?
I'm a bit of a Maguire fanboy. I'm going to admit it.
Hey,
I love Maguire. I am. I've loved him.
time for
I loved him when he was back at home. I was noticing him a long time ago. So when we finally bought him, I thought it was a great move for us. I think he's been let down. slightly because he needs a good partner to be able to be good himself, if that makes sense. I think he relies heavily on someone with pace next to him to pick up some of the messy parts. So there is parts of the game where he isn't so good at, and I would be stupid if I didn't admit that. But I think the main parts of his game, i.e. the commanding of the defence, the headed clearances, the amount of blocks that guy does per game, I would give him an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think he's been very good. This has been probably one of his best seasons as centre back for any club. I think he's had a really, really strong season. He's actually surprised me this year.
No, I hear that. Is there anyone that strongly disagrees with what Paul just said? Cool.
No,
Is
man.
everyone happy with giving him an 8?
I'll
Ronnie,
give-
all right, Ronnie, what you saying?
I'm giving a 9, bro.
I think I'd give him. Yeah, I'm gonna go highest 7.
Okay.
Because, like what Paul just said, he does need someone there to help him, and I don't.
Right,
think,
Lindelof.
Yeah.
Nah, he needs a world.
You need Lindelof there to help you. There's problems, and there's too often where just stupid, just dumb stuff happens in the defense, and it's normally between Lindelof and Wire.
Is it though?
And going back to what I said though, Ronnie, earlier, since Henderson's come in, have you noticed that dumb shit stopped happening? They're not doing it. They're not doing that.
I don't
dumb
think
shit.
they've had that many bad games.
It's not happening.
Like I think
It's
most
not
of the games that we've conceded, like
Don't get
most of
me
those games that we've conceded sloppy goals, I don't think it's actually been them that made the mistakes. I feel like it's been like Wan-Bissaka being out of position, Luke Shaw being out of position. Obviously, they have had mistakes individually as well, but I mean they've kept more clean sheets together than Bailly and Maguire. Obviously, they play more often. But Dave, I feel like you're itching at here. What are you saying? What's your thoughts on Maguire?
No, do you know what? It's actually positive actually.
Wow.
I mean,
No,
do you know what? I've bashed Maguire, but I actually quite like him as a centre back for us. I think he's done very well. I think he's obviously had his mistakes and stuff like that, but what centre back hasn't? We can go through the whole of the Premier League and see how many mistakes centre backs have made this season. So, do you know what I mean? But the only thing that worries me, and it kind of it was like a flashback. It brought it back the worries in me when we played Leicester and Vardy skipped past him like he weren't there. That worries me. No, seriously, I'm being serious. That worries me, man. So I feel like we need to find a partner for him, because when we're at that level, when we're playing big European games, these players will skip past him like he's not there, man. And that worries me. And it's not his fault, because it's not his attribute. And that's something I don't feel like that's something that he can work on, because he's just physically a slow guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? That's just his physical attributes. But in terms of he's reading the game, playing the game, he knows how to defend. For me, he's a very good defender. His physical attributes just go against him, and that's not his fault. So we need someone who's going to partner him and accommodate for that. And that's what I believe. But I think I'm going to give him an 8.
But he's
I'd say
yeah.
max. I'd say max 7 for me. I think he's been good. I think he's been solid, but there's just been times when, errors have been made. He's pulling back his own defenders sometimes. That Fulham goal when the defense was just split open. I just feel like the price tag, captain, lack of pace, the two holding the midfielders as well. As we progress more, and we probably don't have to play 2 holding midfielders, and I don't know. I'm just not sold on. I'm not fully sold on that. And then the fact that we keep saying he needs a partner next to him as well. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like an 8 too high. It's just too high for me.
I do hear where you're coming from, but I feel like a lot of these things that you're talking about, I just kind of think that he can't control. I was going to say narratives, but that's a bit lazy.
Yeah,
but
true.
I just think they can't control. So like his price tag, I mean, we know.
I get that.
Yeah, even captaincy, if you're looking at who are the options when he took over the captaincy, like who was there really? Like, I mean, that was
true.
there at the time. So like the 2 holders, we're playing 4-2-3-1. I mean, who doesn't? Like, there's so many teams that do play 4-2-3-1. Perhaps you mean in terms of having Fred and McTominay as players who aren't as good as attacking players and they're more defensive. Kind of hear that side of the things, but I don't think, again, there's like so many players do play with 2 DMs. I mean, like Chelsea played Kovacic and and Kante or whatever, and then you've got Tottenham that played like Sissoko and Hoiberg. So I mean, like they're standard things that people do, and I feel like people use them to dig at Maguire when really they're not really things that he can control anyway. Like I mean, overall though, I would say though, first 3 games of the season, Maguire did have a bit of a terrible start. Obviously, we got smashed 6-1, but like we conceded 11 Premier League goals in our first 3 games. Yeah, in our next 26 games, we've conceded 21. So everyone says, oh, yeah, the defense isn't good enough. You've got to concede less than a goal a game and that. But if you can take those 3 games away, which obviously you can't do as part of the season, that's one of the reasons why we are where we are, whatever. But those 3 games, straight out of the block, had no pre-season. Maguire literally just come out of prison into the pitch. Like, since then, I feel like you can see that he's stepped up. And, like, I mean, our defense has been a lot better. But, I mean, this whole thing, yeah, I expected us to be done in like 40 minutes or so. This has taken a lot longer than I was expecting. So we're going to have to break this down into a part 2 and come back to the midfield. So we'll finish off with the defence though, and we'll finish off with the centre back. So moving on next, we'll go on to Lindelof, and I'll come to you, Dave. I mean, what's your thoughts on Lindelof for the season? And what would you rate him?
Lindelof. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I used to back Lindelof. You know, I used to back him like he
Before
was
Maguire?
Underrated. Huh?
Before
Before and during Maguire, everyone used to think that Maguire needed a partner. I was thinking, right, but maybe Lindelof needed a partner. Do you know what I mean? But he just got so many things going against him. He's not strong physically. He's not good in the air. I'm gonna give him a 5, man. There's too many things. There's too many. Yeah, seriously. There's too many things that he needs to improve on. There's too many things that he needs to improve on, man. I just feel like I think there's so many defenders in the league that are better than him. I think there's so many defenders in the league that are better than him.
But are you saying they perform better than him?
No, that are actually better than him.
Yeah, but have they?
There's so many.
Wait, do you think they've been better than him this season though? Like those defenders
Yeah, I
that
do.
you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
All right, fair enough. I mean, Ty, what are you thinking? I mean, do you agree with Dave? 5, or do you think it's a bit harsh?
I think 5 harsh. I think 6, 7 would have been fine with me. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't think they've been that far apart. I don't think they've been that far apart. I don't think he's made as many errors leading to goals as Maguire.
Maguire played every game last season pretty much, and nearly the same again this season.
But in terms of Lindelof, like, okay, except right, the heading I get. Like, I don't know, the strength one, I think that was a foul on him when we let in that goal.
Oh yeah, was it West Ham?
The other
No.
time. I honestly thought it was a foul. I think that strength thing's overrated. So I don't think he's been that bad. And you know, if we're talking about clean sheets and the amount of goals we conceded, he's been at the heart of the defence as well. So I don't think Maguire's been the one that's, you know, it's been the reason for all of the good stuff, and then it's Lindelof that's been, you know, the reason for all of the bad stuff. I think they balance each other out, to be honest.
Hear that. Paul, what are you saying? I mean, actually, go on then, Ronnie. Do you agree?
Yeah, let me just say, Lindelof the other day against Leicester, Jamie Vardy absolutely bullied him for strength.
And Maguire? Oh, for strength, okay.
No.
Yeah. What, you didn't see them running side by side?
No, he was talking to me. You're right.
And Vardy's not a strong man.
Lindelof was almost on the floor.
Yeah. I think he's agreeing with you.
Everybody barged him, and Lindelof was fucking flying around the place.
All right, but what would you rate him then? I mean, we're saying a 5. I mean, do you agree with Dave's 5, or do you agree with Ty that he's been a bit harsh there? And it's more...
I'll go 6.
Yeah, 6 is fine, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Culpz, what you saying?
Season Lindelof, I'm saying 5, man. I ain't seen
5 as well, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I ain't seen nothing of him to be like, yeah, he should be in our team. You know what I'm saying? You're right. You're right. Bro.
The thing is, yeah, 5 seems harsh, but we're talking in terms of Manchester United Football Club.
I'm just
Lindelof,
bro. I'll be honest.
Dave, what does that even mean, Dave? What does that mean?
I'm not even saying that.
because it means I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna break down what it means. Yeah, Lindelof, yeah, is replaceable. Yeah, what I mean by that is, yeah, if Lindelof is not in the team sheet and Eric Bailly is there, no one is questioning anything. Even if any other player is there, no one's questioning anything. If Harry Maguire is not playing, we're gonna ask, what is he injured? Like, what's going on? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna ask questions if Maguire's on the bench, right or wrong. If Lindelof's on the bench for Bailly, no one's asking questions. Everyone's calm because he's replaceable. He's just an average centre back.
Playing every game.
What are you saying then, Paul? I mean, do you think that Dave's been a bit harsh on him?
Dave's been harsh to every player so far. I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. Right. And the reason I give him a 7 is
Wan-Bissaka, bro. This is why it's mad.
Karen. We'll come to a consensus. So go on.
The reason I give him a 7 is I think he's one of these players that feeds off other players. If the rest of the back four are playing well, he tends to play well. If he's in a back four that are shaky, like the Leicester game, like Ronnie mentioned, then he seems to turn into a shaky player as well. But that's not his fault. That's just going to come with a bit more experience. For me, he's probably not United quality that we're used to. Don't get me wrong, but that doesn't mean he's having a bad season compared to his ability. Do you get what I mean? So for his ability, I would give him a 7 out of 10 because I think he's playing probably nearly at his level as he's actually good at. But it's just not his fault that he ain't that United quality that we're used to. That's the problem you've got.
True. Carry on, Paul.
I think he hinders a lot of other players. I think Wan-Bissaka doesn't get forward as much because he's got that liability next to him a little bit in terms of that. And I think of Maguire the same. He gets let down slightly by him. But again, I still don't think that's his fault. I actually think he's having a very good season for his ability. It's just not his fault. You know what? I feel like Lindelof's a bit of a scapegoat, and like I feel sorry for him, a little bit, because before they had that, Lindelof was the ice king before Maguire came in, Before Maguire came in, it was to find a partner for Lindelof. It felt like anyway, because Bailly, we'll come on to him, but he seemed like he was always injured, So I actually think that Lindelof gets underrated and he gets like scapegoated for things that just aren't even his problem. I mean, last season, people were talking about him Maguire needing a partner next to him because Lindelof is like too slow or something. And Lindelof went the whole of last season without being dribbled past once, like the whole season. People were going berserk over Van Dijk when he did the same thing. Lindelof doesn't get beaten that often. He's a very good defender. He's got his issue. I mean, he's got his weaknesses. 100%. He's got his weaknesses. So he's not the best in the air. He can get beaten in the air. He can get beaten. He can get beaten in the air, and he can get beaten for strength. I do actually believe that as well. Like, I feel that goal, a normal centre back, Maguire doesn't concede that. But for me, like Lindelof, he's got, especially on the ball, he's got ability. He's got the quality to be able to control the ball out. He's not as good as Maguire, but he's very good with the ball at his feet. He helps us play out the back really well. And I would definitely give him at least a 7 out of 10. Not quite as good as Maguire at 8, but I think as a centre-back pairing, they've been a decent pairing, I think. But yeah, of course you can.
Can I interject?
Interject.
I've got something to add on this subject as well after, man.
Cool.
Do you know what it is? You know what my problem is with Lindelof, You know what my problem is with Lindelof, And it might just be me being harsh, as you guys say. But for me, a centre-back pairing, I don't want just one leader in that centre-back pairing. I need 2 leaders. And Lindelof, for me, shows no leadership whatsoever. And it just bothers me, man.
I was going to say my point is going to
come back at you.
That's what I wanted to say. To be honest. So, Culpz, please take over.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, every like world-class proper centre-back pairing we see, there's one leader and then there's a number 2. Yeah, like I think Maguire is our leader. He's shown that by how many games he plays throughout a season. Yeah. Like, law of averages, you're going to get mistakes. You're going to get individual errors, innit? Like, the amount of games he plays, it's going to happen, yeah? But Lindelof, he needs to be improved as a number 2, but I don't think he's good enough. I think he's way too erratic for Maguire to fully be able to trust him, because he's good at pressing a defender and staying tight, but he's just on him too much. Like, a penalty or anything can happen at any time. Like, do you know what I mean? So...
You know what? I saw Dave's face when you said that only one person needs to be a leader at the back, and I'm guessing everyone was just thinking of Rio and Vidic.
I disagree.
John Terry and Carvalho.
Do you know what it is? Rio and Vidic. Rio was the leader. And Vidic was the warrior.
He's the enforcer.
Vidic was the warrior.
Yeah.
John Terry was the leader, and Carvalho was the warrior. You know what I'm saying? It's like these men are ready to take orders and ready to go on the pitch and listen to their leader and take orders and fulfill it. Lindelof, it's just like he's a bypasser. He's a bypasser, like. And I'm not being funny. I'm not saying he's crap or anything like that. I'm not saying he's crap at all. But I'm just saying that I just feel like I need more from him, man.
The thing is, Dave, is he capable of more?
No, I don't think so.
No, nor do I. I actually think he's playing close. I actually think he's playing close to the best he can probably play.
Dan James, listen, Dan James's highest potential is probably a 6 out of 10. But I'm not going to give him an 8 out of 10 because he's playing 6 out of 10. He's a 6. That's a fact. So Lindelof's ceiling is 6 out of 10. And I don't think he's at his actual ceiling, so I give him a 5.
Lindelof in the Premier League. Lindelof himself. Lindelof in the Premier League this season, played 22 games. He's conceded 21 goals and he's had 9 clean sheets. That's very good. He didn't play in that 6-1 game. Like most of our better games have been with Lindelof in defence. I think every time that we come against one of the big teams, we've been drawing them 0-0. Who plays in that defence? Maguire and Lindelof. I feel like every single time that we come up against these big teams as well, everyone's like, oh, we can't believe that Oli started Lindelof. Can't believe Bayer isn't starting. It's every single time, and every single time, Lindelof walks off like a don with a clean sheet. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like everything, like for him to be getting a 5, when we get all these clean sheets against all these big teams, and he's conceding less than a goal a game.
Why
He's scapegoated. He's definitely scapegoated. 100%.
Why do we need to buy centre back? Why do we need to buy centre back then? Why do we need to buy?
Because he can be improved on.
To replace Maguire.
No, because he can improve. But this is the same argument that you're making about.
Maguire could be replaced, but you can't because of the price tag.
True. But you're making the same argument.
No one's thinking games he plays. The amount of 90-minute games Maguire plays, it just goes under the radar. No one looks at it.
It looks good. I think he's had a good season. I just think he can be improved on. He's got weaknesses.
But then why would you say that if he's had a good season? A 7 is a good season. A 7 is not someone who you replace.
Yeah, but he's had a good season.
That don't make sense.
To Paul's point, he's had a good season for him. I don't think he's been.
Forget about him. We're not talking about for him. We're not talking about personal accolades. We're talking about for United.
Yeah, but I feel like I can't. Yeah, but I can't say if someone's playing.
Dan James was 10 out of 10 then for his own self.
I feel like if Dan James,
I'm rating the player, not the position.
Exactly.
So I'm rating the player.
Yeah, for me, if Dan James,
not rating. Otherwise, I would rate everyone 10 out of 10 because that's what I'm expecting.
If Dan James is playing to the very best of his ability, I would give him a 10 out of 10 because that's what that means to me. That's what player rating is. Player rating means that you're getting the very best of your ability. That's how I rate players. But you could be rating it differently. You could be like, for a left back at Manchester United, how good are you? So I guess it's just how you're rating those things. It's 2 different ways of rating.
No, I'm rating it compared to the rest of the league.
Fair enough as well. That's another one.
I think another reason why we need no defenders, the pace issue, because they both lack in pace, and that's the real reason. I don't think it's because they're, I think they've done well together, but I think the pace is the main issue why you've got to replace at least one of them.
Well, to that point, I mean, we're on to our next player. I think we agreed that Lindelof. Actually, no, we didn't agree. I'll come on to you next about Bayer then, because to your point about pace then, yeah. But did we finalise a thing on Lindelof? Did we agree on 7?
I'll give him a 6. I'll say 6. I'll go above and say 6. I'm not giving him a 7. What? You're giving him the same rating as Aaron. You're giving him the same rating as Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
He's not been that much worse, but he has been a little bit worse. I would give him the same rating as Wan-Bissaka.
I think 6 is fair. I think 6 is fair. 6 is fair.
All right, 6. I mean, overall, I'll take it. 6, fine, fair enough. All right, Ty, coming to you then. Bayer, I mean, what are your thoughts on him for this season? And just in general, season, career, whatever you want to call it, what are your thoughts on Bayer?
I think Bayer's all right. I just don't trust him in certain situations. I think he's a bit clumsy. He's obviously got pace, and there's been games where he's done really well. I think there's been a couple of Leicester games in previous seasons where he's really, shown his attributes and done well. But for me, it's just his game comes with a bit of risk. Obviously, he has fitness issues as well. So, I can see why people want him to play, but I can also see why, he can't really be relied upon as our, second best defender, really. So, overall, I'd say a 6.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, Ronnie, what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say 6 because I feel like 6 or 7 because I feel like he can be really good.
Yeah, but can be really good is not really how you rate a player, though, is it?
Yeah. But we said we're rating the player.
True.
So,
you mean he can be good this season? You mean?
Yeah. I feel like he's got the potential to actually be good, but he doesn't get a run of games because whenever he plays like 3 or 4 games, he just gets injured. And
True. Fair.
that's one of the massive downsides.
Anyone got anything that they like? Paul, what's your thoughts on Bailly? I'll come to you.
I'm not a fan, man.
You've never been a fan, actually, have you?
I just can't get in. He just does crazy stuff.
Never bought a hope.
He's I don't know. He's the way I look at it. He's nothing. He's nothing better over. He hasn't got anything over Lindelof. Nothing for me to warrant being in the team.
What a pace.
He has the odd game every now and again where I think, oh, he's done a great tackle here, like the block. Remember the last minute block he did? I can't remember who it was against. Don't get me wrong, it was unbelievable, but that in 10 games is not enough for me. He doesn't show enough, and he's not regular enough. And I'm not going to base him on the fact that he gets injured, but I've got to mark him down on the fact that he's always injured. He's so frustrating that he's always injured. And I agree with Ronnie. I think he could be a great player if he wasn't, but I'm not going to give him points on the fact that he could be that good. Ledley King could have been one of the best defenders in the world if he wasn't injured at the time, but he was, and that's the end of story. I mean, he was always injured, and he didn't become that player. And Bailly's going to end up the same way. And I think he's wants to leave now, apparently. Anyway, doesn't he? From what I heard.
No, I did hear that. I mean, Culpz, what are you thinking? Bailly, is he one of your boys?
You know, it is like obviously I think his pace and his ability on the ball helps him out a lot. But off the ball, man, even on the ball, he's scary, bro. Like you don't know what to expect, innit? He does some like Paul said, he does some mad stuff, bro. Like, just don't know what he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, it's mad. And he wants to go as well. He wants regular playing time. I don't think United is the place to give him regular playing time, man. I think we'll suffer from that if we did that.
Fair enough. No, I hear that. Some good points. Dave, what are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Culpz and Paul, to be honest. Previously, I was on this buy hype bandwagon thing, but do you know what? When I deep it, I don't think he's that good, man. I think, yeah, he's got some good attributes. No, seriously, I think he's got some good attributes. He's quick, he's good on the ball, but I feel like he doesn't play enough for us to actually see if he is good. Anyone can play a great game every now and then, but it's about consistency, and we just don't get that from him. So we can't. It's like we can't actually judge how good he is, and for that and that alone, he needs to leave our club. He's wasting time. We need to. We talk about replacing a centre back. We need to replace. But it's true. Listen, we talk about replacing a centre back. We need to replace Bailly. When Alex Ferguson signed Jones, he said he's going to be the best signing that United have ever made. But his injuries after injuries, and now he's the worst signing we've ever made. That's the same Bailly.
He's been in 5 years and played 62 games, man. That's
we need to get rid. It's poor. It's pathetic. We need to get rid.
You know what? I mean, I feel disappointed. Yeah, I feel really disappointed with some of the comments tonight. Yeah, mainly because I wanted someone to just completely gas him up and boost him. He's one of my favorite players. Yeah, he makes me smile the most out of probably any of the players at the main night.
Yeah, that's because he does tons of dumb shit, man. And everyone just laughs at.
Exactly that. But my problem is the fact that he does do lots of crazy stuff. Yeah, and as much as I do, as it does make me smile, yeah, I do actually don't think he's just not reliable enough. I would have loved to have been the fact that this guy is the person that you can just be. Like, that's what everyone says, like, just stick him in again, like, next to Maguire, and they get annoyed when, like, I don't know. For me, he hasn't been as good as Lindelof. And if Lindelof's getting a 6, then Bailly doesn't get any more than a 6 in a way, because there's been good moments that he's had. That did you say 3? There's been some good moments that he's had. Yeah, but the injuries, I mean, it's the injuries that do it for me. But also, like, I just feel like anytime that we concede a goal when Lindelof and Maguire are playing, he all of a sudden somehow turns into Rio and Vidic combined into 2, yeah. And he's this player that we've been missing on the pitch, and it's like that frustrates me because it's like, I think he's a good player, and he's like, but he isn't the missing link. He isn't the person that we can go on and rely on next season. Yeah, so
I agree.
I mean, overall, I was happy to go with tier 6. I think we could have gone harsher. I feel like, but I'm happy to go to 6.
I think
he has had really good games.
his pace and strength is definitely better
There's
than
four,
Lindelof.
bro.
I think that's the two things that he has over Lindelof. But yeah, overall, I just don't know if he could be.
I'm starting to question. Remember when Mourinho had that run in as manager when people were saying they was injured all the time and stuff, and he was getting the ump of it and saying like these ain't men. Remember he was saying that one time.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get that feeling with Bailly, like man up a bit, man. Come on, like fucking.
No,
but that's what it's getting to. I know it's probably the wrong thing to say, but it gets to a point where he's injured so much you think, fucking hell, man, pull yourself together.
Yeah, but his
Fight
problem
for
is he'll
some
do
pain.
like a
You wanna
fly
play
kick
on
and then land on his ankle.
Yeah, doing some dumb
Like,
shit.
you know
That's what I'm
like-
saying.
Can I interrupt?
Same as Jones. It's the same as Jones.
I don't-
Jones used to do that all the time.
Fudge.
Just go in and smash himself and get injured.
Yeah,
All right, cool. Fudge, I'm trying to talk here. Anyway, I don't know if you guys might disagree with me like 100%, yeah. But this is how I see things anyway. I never judge a player on their physical attributes because I just feel like that's something that you're born with. That's not something that you earn, yeah. So someone with pace or someone with strength, yeah, or something like that, yeah. I don't really, yeah, I can see it adds to their game, but I don't rate them on that. So for example, Giroud for Chelsea, he hasn't got pace, he hasn't got nothing, but the things he does, like as a
Physical
footballer-
attributes, you mean? Yeah?
Yeah, physical attributes, sorry. The thing he does as a footballer, I rate him like highly because he hasn't got all of these physical attributes that he's born with, and he's still a deep baller. Adama Traore, he's fucking lightning quick, but he cannot kick football to save his life.
Yeah, he's got no
His
idea.
physical attributes. Listen. His physical attributes are literally what people rate him on. But these are things that he's born with. He's not a good footballer. Like, and look, people that I know it's his first season, but Werner, his first season in the Prem, yeah, he heavily relies on his pace. When he can't use his pace, is he a good footballer? I don't know. It's his
But
first
can't
season.
you be born with a football brain? Or...
I call that being a shit
Yeah,
signing.
but listen, they can't be born with a football brain.
Yeah.
Fudge. At the end of the day, yeah, I feel like Eric Bailly is just rated on his physical attributes, not really his footballing attributes. I think as a footballer, he's not as good as people rate him as. He's very average. He's very agile, and his physical attributes get him out of a lot of situations which he puts himself in. Not even he does get. He puts himself in a lot of bad situations because of his physical attributes. He kind of like gives himself the pass. I think we need to replace Lindelof and Bailly ASAP. ASAP. See you next week, lads. It's been a very good Cockney
I was going to
race.
say that. I was going to say it's been a long.
way
We're
my
not going to be
arm
able
was
to
just
finish off the
stinging
whole
me,
team
holding
anyway.
his
Like
hand.
it's been so much longer than expected. So just to recap, yeah, we've gone with De Gea. We ended up giving him a 6. We gave Henderson. We ended up giving him a 6. Sorry, no, we ended up giving him a 7. So we agreed on. We ended up giving Shaw a 9. We gave Telles a 6. We gave Wan-Bissaka a 7. We gave Maguire an 8. We gave Lindelof a 7. Did Lindelof end up with a 6? Sorry. We gave Bailly a 6. And we gave, and that's everyone. So that's all the defense in the midfield. We went for the goalkeepers and defense. So yeah, that's it for this week. I think it's just going to be too long otherwise. Like we'll be going on to midnight. So anyway, thanks for joining us, boys. Ty, Paul, thanks for joining us for the first time. Hope to see you again next week. Yeah. But mainly the people that are coming here to watch us. Thank you for coming here and just enjoying us, and just thank for watching us. Anyway.
Remember to tune in on Friday as well. Remember to tune in on Friday for part 2 of this rating. We're going to do midfielders and strikers. We're going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. Today was part 1. Tune in on Friday. We're going to give you the full aspect, and you tell us where we've gone wrong.
Like, subscribe. Find us on Twitter as well. Cockney Reds MUFC. But yeah,
lads, say happy birthday to Ronnie on his 25th birthday today. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Ronnie. Come on.
Come on.
Have a good one, everyone. Hopefully stay tuned if you enjoy this sort of thing. Like, subscribe, and hope to see you again later on this week, as Dave just reminded us.